What up guys, I'm Chef Tucker and today we're making an Argentinian style empanada with chimichurri. Let's do it. First things first, we're gonna take our 2 poblanos over here and our sheet tray lined with foil or parchment. Pop our poblanos on one side, 2 jalapenos, and we're gonna go ahead and remove the stems on our jalapenos and our serrano. So not only are we roasting our poblanos, we're roasting all of our veg for our chimichurri as well. If you want your jalapenos to be de-seeded, I will show you later about how to de-seed them, but that'll make them less spicy if you're not really big into spice. Next, let's bust out our onion. We're gonna go ahead and chop the tail off over here and cut this in half. We're gonna go ahead and pop this entire thing on our tray as well. And the other half of our onion we will use in our actual filling for our empanadas. So you can set that off to the side for now. And then let's grab a little bit of garlic. Now, we sent garlic to party, so however many cloves you think you need, that's how many you need. Whatever your heart tells you, right? Because we measure garlic with our hearts. Let's grab our neutral high heat searing oil, that's our canola oil. And let's grab a little Balinese truffle salt. You wanna drizzle some over your vegetables over here, your onion, your garlic cloves, the jalapenos and serrano. Rain down a little bit of Balinese truffle salt. Now this can go in the oven. Like I said, we're gonna get the poblanos roasty, like charred roasty. And we're gonna get the other side nice and roasted as well for our chimichurri, but it doesn't need to be blackened. So these will probably be in there quite a while. Let's go. Corn, let's make it. You know me, I don't really like the silk on the corn. It freaks me out, so make sure you get it super nice and clean. If you need a paper towel or a kitchen towel to rub any excess off, make sure you keep that chef's claw nice and tight. We're gonna go ahead and slice one side right off of the ear. Now you have a nice flat side, it's not gonna roll around. Then, continue using that nice chef's claw technique. Come down on the other side. Pop your corn into one of your mixing bowls over here. It's gonna be our filling bowl. Now, we still have half of an onion to dice up over here. And we're gonna do it in very traditional truffle style. Meaning, you're gonna take your knife, turn it sideways. Now, when we do a shallot, we do 1 Pac-Man slice down the middle, right? But for an onion of this size, when we wanted a small dice, we need to do multiple slices down the side. So, I think I'm gonna do 3 or 4. Then a series of slices from right to left, as close as you can get them. That's gonna make your dice nice and small. Then go ahead and dice yourself up an onion. All right, we did corn, we did onions, now we need potatoes. Of course, we want purple potatoes because we want our filling to be absolutely colorful. We're gonna go ahead and dice them up as well. And so when you're making a filling, you kind of want everything to be roughly the same size for that nice even mouthfeel. So try to get your potato size around the same size as your onion and your corn. So when you have something round or oval that you need to be square, do the same technique every time. Planks, batons, dice. Planks. Batons. Batons for days. You can line a few of them up at a time to do your dice. Chef's claw, because fingertips, still important. Perfect purple potato squares. Nicely done. This is a great time for a hydration break. We're gonna pick some herbs. So you have mint, parsley, and cilantro. And this is gonna be for our chimichurri, right? So you wanna make sure you have a decent amount of herbs For the mint, you want to pull all those leaves off those stems. The stems are very fibrous and we don't want those even in our blended sauce today. So make sure you pick the leaves off the stems for your mint. Once you tackle all that mint, grab some parsley. Now, the parsley, you can use some of those stems. We're not mad about some of those stems. Not all of them, but maybe half the parsley stems you can keep. For our cilantro, I'm just gonna rip the base of the stems off, like this thick part here, and the rest of this is going right up in there. Now, you know what I always say about garnish? Maybe pick a couple cute cilantro plouches out. Boop, that's a plouche. For garnish later. Otherwise, full send all herbs right into that chimichurri sauce over here. Chimichurri time. Pull those roasty veg out of the oven. Look what we got here. Take that roasty half onion, your jalapeno, your second jalapeno, and your serrano. Pop them in there. The garlic cloves we left in the chemise so that they didn't burn, right? And so now we officially need to take them out of the chemise and pop them right into your chimmy over here. Once you get roasty veg in your blender over here, we're gonna add in a plethora of our fresh herbs, mint, cilantro, parsley, right into that blender as well. We need a couple more things to make it a chimichurri, of course. Vinegar. Red wine vinegar, to be specific. You wanna add your entire can. We also need some sweetness up in here, so we need a little honey. Of course, I prefer the brown butter truffle honey from Truffle, but if you only have some basic honey at home, that's gonna work out just as well. So, you want about 2 tablespoons or so of honey right into the blender. Last but not least, a little Balinese truffle salt. Remember, we can always add more. But you can't take it out if you add too much, so just a pinch. And then of course, we're gonna drizzle our olive oil in there slowly. Start those blenders, get it nice and smooth, make sure you get that vortex in there, and then go ahead and turn it off because you don't want the heat from your blade to brown out your herbs. So as soon as it's blended, turn that baby off. Of course, make sure you taste it to make sure that you know it's delicious. Once your poblanos look like this, they're gonna be a little bit roasty. It's exactly what we wanted. Some might call it burnt, we call it roasted. Boom, roasted. Put those in a bowl. And then we're gonna do this really cool technique. You've got the nice toasty poblanos in this bowl. You're gonna plastic wrap your bowl. Make sure it's a nice, tight wrap. It's nice and tight on there. See how the steam's already creating like a little bubble in there? That steam is gonna roast that skin right off of there. Time to start building this filling, right? So let's get our saute pan on the stove. You can use cast iron, you can use a regular stainless steel pan, either way. And so we're gonna kind of sweat off our onions, get our potatoes going over here. So we just need medium heat would be great. And you wanna grab that canola oil, our neutral oil. Add a splash at the bottom of your saute pan, just that nice, even layer. What you're looking for is 3 different things. The viscosity is gonna change completely. It's gonna get nice and shiny. It's gonna do a little ripply thing from the center of your pan to the outer edges. That's how you know your oil is ready to go. Let's go ahead and pop in our onions. And then your potatoes. Beautiful. We're just gonna cook this down. We're not looking to get it GBD or anything like that. We're just looking to gently sweat everything down, get it nice and cooked. You always start with a filling that's nice and cooked. And you know what helps onions and potatoes break down? A little Balinese truffle salt, which you will first sprinkle into your hand. Get really elevated and then rain the salt down. Now remember, this is going into a filling, which we will then season again at the end when we're kind of combining it all together. So be gentle now. You can always add more while your potatoes and your onions are cooking out over here. Refer back to your poblano bowl. Has it been sitting for 10 to 15 minutes? Then you're ready to see what's going on in here. Pull that plastic off of there, and you will find that your peppers, your poblano peppers over here, are just about ready to jump out of their skin. So they're gonna be super easy to peel. Go ahead and peel your poblanos. Once you have the skin off, go ahead and pop the stems off. You want to remove any seeds that are still in there. So poblanos are not a spicy pepper, so the seeds don't carry any capsaicin or anything like that. You're not really going to find them on the Scoville scale, but we do want to get the seeds out of the way. They're pretty fibrous, not very pleasant. And then for my poblano, I'm going to cut them in half. And then from here, I'm going to cut them into nice little strips, or rajas. And those can go into this bowl with my corn. This is going to be my filling. Once your potatoes and onions are cooked, you can feel free to turn that heat off over here. Then we're just gonna continue to build our filling. We're gonna add in our potato mixture as well. Now, we've got double cheese in this recipe today, very important step. So first, you're gonna go in with your shredded blend. Beautiful. But then we also have this beautiful panela cheese over here. Got about 4 ounces that we need for this. Chef's knock. All right, now go mix that up. So double cheese, potatoes, onions, corn, poblano. First things first, taste your delicious mixture. Make sure it's seasoned appropriately. Time to start filling these bad boys. Now, the key is not too much filling, not too little filling. But today we're worried about overfilling, because then it's not gonna seal nicely. So give yourself a nice little spoonful of filling in the middle over here. Half moon shape. Gently press the dough. It will stick to itself. The folds are where you can kind of have a little fun. This one is my favorite technique right here. It's the old pinch into a star shape. The different folds typically indicate different fillings. So if all of them have little star shapes like this, that will be all the same filling. Now, we're just gonna do different rolls today so you can get the feel for it, but just know, in the future, if you go to an empanada party and you pick up a different one with a different fold, there's a different surprise inside. Start at one end, kind of fold a little triangle down, and then just keep folding those over. Once you have it to this stage, grab that egg wash and your pastry brush. Now, just a little bit of egg wash on that pastry brush. No, don't overload it. Gently brush this baby with a little egg wash. That's gonna give it a nice golden brown finish, right? And I know the holidays are coming up, and if you're thinking, maybe I should get ahead, you're right. Now, if you wanted to freeze these, bake them off later at your convenience, don't egg wash them, throw them in the freezer. But we're working with puff pastry dough, so don't stack them on top of each other. Freeze them in a line first, separated, give them some space so they freeze, then feel free to toss them in a bag, right? And then kind of shove them off to the side of your freezer. I know all of our freezers are limited on space, so freeze them in a line first, then you can stack them up in a bag in the corner, then you're good to go, bake them when you need them. Make sure you serve them up hot with a little side of that chimichurri.